Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. My name's Taylor, and today we're going to be going over our 2025 Winnebago EKKO. This is the 23B, so if you guys aren't familiar with it, it is on the all-new Mercedes all-wheel drive chassis. So we'll start off with the exterior, taking a lap around, and then we'll work our way on the inside. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting over here with our upgraded styled rims and all-terrain tires. Riding on over here, we have a nice little running board with a little latch here so you can tie down any dog leashes or anything of that sort. As we work our way up, you do have a nice little blinker inside of your mirror. Big truck style mirror, so you don't have to worry about, missing anything. You could really see that blind spot. And then we have our first compartment door over here. Nice rubber mat here, and then it is carpeted, and then it goes into your flooring color on the inside. And then as you can see too, you have your little seat belt tether right in here. Just nice little area to store. Perfect. We have our big heavy duty door that's fully insulated and noise resistant. As you can see, the thickness of this door is going to be the thickness of the whole entire shell of the EKKO. So it's very insulated, it's completely four season, and it's made with like a honeycomb feature. So that really helps keep the cool in as well as the heat and vice versa. Another cool feature about this door that I really like, you do have the typical screen door, but you also have on the inside, go ahead and open it, you have a nice little plastic wiring here, 4 pups as well. And then you do have this little door latch where you can lock it from the inside, just in case you do want to leave the door open, but you want to let in some fresh air like a beautiful day like today. You don't have to run your AC. You can kind of just keep open all the windows and then keep that door locked just in case you're going to go on a little hike and you want to leave your pups on the inside. You can do that. All right, and our next bay door over here, same concept, just a little bit wider, but you have the rubber mat, the carpet on the inside, and then your flooring. Here's our exhaust for that Mercedes chassis, and then as we work our way up, we just have the TV outlet here. So if you wanted to go ahead and put a table here and prop up a TV, you have the wiring to do so, and then some charging as well. All the way up here, we have one of our windows that are nice and open, the dual pane window, which has a higher R value, which will also help keep that hot sunlight out to keep your coach cool in the middle of summer. And then up above there, I do have the LED lights on that awning. So you have a nice little Carefree awning. It is armless, and it does have that built-in wind sensor. So you can download the app Carefree, so you can adjust that sensitivity as well, just in case if it is kind of breezy, but nothing crazy, you don't want to keep fighting with that awning. You can go ahead and adjust the sensitivity on that app. Right over here, this is another window that we have in our bedroom, which also duals as an emergency exit. And directly below that, we have our Truma AquaGo. And I can open up this one here. Here is our 2 propane tanks. I know I always say it just because I love how these propane tanks are just like a typical barbecue propane tank. So you can go ahead and just rip them out. You don't have to take the coach with you to fill it up. And you can use one or both at the same time. It's completely up to you. And down here below that, you have a nice little barbecue hookup, just in case you wanted to throw one in your garage space, which we'll get into now. But you have a nice little connector there to use the propane that you already have on board. All right. One thing why the EKKO is so popular, not only for the garage space, but also being truly four season, is this huge heated garage space. So you don't have to worry about anything freezing back here. And then you have your nice little molly board for some tie downs for all your gear, your hiking, your skiing, whatever, anything you want to kind of tie down here, you could do so. And then you have this nice little rubber mat. So if you do plan on using this during the winter, you know how when things kind of defrost back here, it's kind of easy to just rip this out and hose it off. And then you have a few tie downs. You can also get a bunch of different accessories for this track here on Amazon, but they do provide you with a handful of them, so you can go ahead and tie down your equipment back there. You don't have to worry about it rolling around and getting all mangled while you're getting to your destination. So in addition to this one, we have 2 more access points to our garage area. This one is on a hinge, so if it is really windy, you don't have to worry about that door kind of slapping you while you're kind of storing everything up in here. And now that we have a better angle of things, I just want to let you know, so here on either side, that's where your heat will be coming from. And then you do have a nice little light here where you go ahead and push the button, in addition to the 2 charging outlets right here, and then another socket. And then the same exact thing on this one. It does open identical to the other side we just looked at. Again, with that molly board where you can kind of tie anything down. Perfect. And then each one of these doors is going to have a double latch that also locks. So it's kind of nice to give it a nice tight seal while you're going down the road. And then if anything happens to one of the latches, at least you have a secondary one. Up above here, we have our backup camera. And then below this, we have a nice little hook for our secondary awning, which we'll get into later. And then here is our towing hitch here. So you have a 5,000 pound towing capacity with a 500 vertical weight, and then you already have the brake lights pre-wired just in case you did want to flat tow a tow vehicle. And then since we were already looking up there, we do have our AC unit. It's a 13,500 BTU AC, and then you have 2 215 watt solar panels up there as well. And then here is what we call a Batwing. It is a manual awning, so you go ahead and unzip it, whip it around, and it's super awesome just because it almost gives you about 360 coverage for awning space. So if you are in the middle of nowhere and you don't have anywhere accessible to trees, it's kind of nice to have both those awnings out to kind of keep most of your area shaded, as well as keeping it dry if it does get, you know, snowy or rainy. But I totally love having that option on here. Kind of just broadens everything up. We do have a nice little exterior light here, so this is accessible during the night as well if you have any problems. But this is going to be our wet bay. We have our water fill here where we can turn on our pump, and then we also have an exterior shower. Something I love about this just configuration completely for a wet bay is it's not all the way down to the floor. They didn't cut it off here and try to squeeze everything into such a small space. It's super accessible. I don't have to crouch down. I can use my shower at a decent height, and I mean, just not really have to get in the mud if you are in the middle of nowhere and it is, you know, all muddy and wet. It's kind of easy to go ahead and fill and troubleshoot anything you need to. And then also dumping that gray tank is very accessible as well. And then kind of just having everything labeled here for summerizing and winterizing. It's fairly easy to kind of figure that out and accessible. You don't really need to do a lot of research. I feel comfortable kind of taking this out by myself and being able to, you know, figure everything out without having to need someone else with me to make me feel a little bit more comfortable. But as far as the tank sizes, our fresh gallon is going to be 50, and then our gray is 40. This doesn't have a black tank. We do have the cassette toilet, which we'll get into right now. That one's only going to be about 5 gallons. But if you are going an extended stay, I always say you can go ahead and purchase a secondary tank to kind of double that capacity as well. Right here we have our 30 amp shore power cord. The GLN here will glow green, just to let you know that you have a healthy charge. So I love having that, just letting you know. It gives you peace of mind knowing that you are accurately charging, so you don't have it plugged in for 30 minutes thinking you're charging, and then you come back to your coach and realize it hasn't been charging at all, and then you kind of have to troubleshoot it. So like right when you plug it in, it'll kind of let you know. And then if you did want some extra solar, if those 2 panels of the 215 watts aren't enough, you have a nice little pre-wire here where you can go ahead and plug in here to kind of lay down that exterior solar panel on the floor. Right over here is going to be our generator. This is an LP generator. It's a 2,500 watts. And then above that is the cassette toilet I was kind of talking to you guys about. So this is your 5 gallon cassette toilet. Once you slide it in there, it will open this up immediately, and then you have this little dump port here to kind of make it flow out a little bit faster. And it is on wheels, so you don't have to worry about holding it close to you when it is nice and full and ready to dump. But this is what I was talking about, how you can buy 2, 3, as many as you want, and you can kind of keep it in that garage space. So if you're kind of trying to extend your stay and see how long you can make it just boondocking, I know you'll need some extra tank capacity there, so you have that option as well. All right, and for our last bay here, we have one of the huge lithium-ion batteries, and then you do have a secondary slot here. If you wanted us to install one, we could do that for you as well, just to kind of help, you know, extend your stay for boondocking as well. All right. Now, as we take our first look into the Mercedes part of everything, it is kind of nice because everything is electric. To move your chair forward, you just push this forward and then back to go back. And then to move the backrest forward and back, you have that as well. And then you have up to 3 memories where you can kind of save that seat configuration. And another thing that's super awesome, especially in Colorado, is you have heated seats. So that's super nice as well. And then plenty of, you know, storage down here for a secondary water bottle or snacks or anything kind of roadside that you would need. Go ahead and pop that hood and we'll talk a little bit more as far as the chassis. Alrighty. So this is on the Mercedes-Benz all-wheel drive Sprinter. It's the 2-liter high output turbo diesel, the 4-cylinder engine, and a 9-speed automatic. And then I forgot to mention too, it does come with a spare tire. You do have your DEF fill right here, your coolant, and then sliding on over, you have your oil fill, and then your windshield wiper fluid here. And then if you ever need to jump the chassis, one is right here, and then the other spigot is right here. So even though this is a higher chassis, it's about 2 more inches, a little bit taller than the original EKKO on the Ford. It's still pretty accessible. You don't really need a high chair or anything, but if you did want to go ahead and jump on, they have a nice little grip here where you can easily kind of hop up on there and kind of get a little bit more close and personal. Alrighty, now we'll go ahead and work our way on the inside. And we'll start in the back, the master bedroom, and then we'll work our way up front. Alrighty, so now that we are in the master bedroom, it's set up right now for 2 twin beds. And you see this ladder because it is equipped with the pop top, so you can sleep up to 4, maybe 5 comfortably, just depending on the size. But this little cushion here is double-sided. You can't really see because of the plastic, but you have 2 little cup holders in here and another center console. But it's nice and hard, so you can put your books up here, your laptop, just another little place that you can lounge. But it also duals as a second cushion here to kind of make it into a full bed. All right. In addition to the bed space, we do have 2 storage compartments overhead, as well as dedicated charging. So what you're seeing up here for the charging is also over here, so you don't have to fight over any charging outlets. You can split them in half, and then you do have 2 separate reading lights as well as nighttime lights. Whoops. And then the AC, it is ducted throughout the coach, but you have the main AC in the bedroom, which I believe is the most important part because no one really wants to sleep hot. So you can go ahead and run that AC in the middle of the night, or you could just use these 2 huge windows like I have open right now to kind of get some crosswinds. I had one on this side of the screen just so you guys can kind of see the bug screen out and then what it looks like without having the bug screen. It kind of, blocks the sun out too when you have the bug screen. And then if you want to completely black it out, of course, that will close off the airflow as well. But I just kind of like how the black screen goes up, just because if you do want some privacy while you're sleeping, but you do want some airflow, at least it's not going down, because then you could still kind of see. So it does give you the luxury of having a little bit more privacy and still being able to get some airflow if you'd like. So AC, and then you also have a fan right up here, and then the air ducts will go all the way across. All right, now I will go ahead and get into the storage that's underneath your bed as well. So you're gonna have a drawer on either side, one right here as well as one right here. And then you have a nice little hanging space inside of here as well. While you're looking underneath that bed, Winnebago actually prints out their own tanks. So the reason why you were able to get a 50-gallon fresh tank that is completely four-season is because they printed out one that was like an L shape and super thick plastic that will help keep it nice and warm during the winter. But it's just kind of something cool that Winnebago does, along with everything else that they make themselves. They are able to print out their own fresh tanks to kind of get the most freshwater capacity as you can. And then you have a nice little curtain here to give yourself some privacy. That buttons up, nice and easy. And then we have our Truma setting right over here. So you can kind of turn it on, you can go to your temperatures, set it off, and set your different, whatever you'd like to set it to. And then we have our fans over here. You could set a timer, and then the settings is over there as well. Here is just going to be our light configurations for our bathroom. So I'll go ahead and get into that next. All right, I was gonna say I have the light on here. So as you can see, briefly, we have our toilet right over here that is on a swivel, so you can kind of make it comfortable to you. And then we have our nice little sink here with the window and the shower curtain, as well as some extra storage directly above the window as well. I just love this configuration because it has a window inside of the bathroom, so it kind of helps you feel not as claustrophobic. And then when you are ready to take a shower, you have this nice little swinging door that completely covers your toilet, so you don't have to worry about taking a shower and trying not to get the toilet wet, or trying not to get anything wet because you're gonna have to dry it off after. So this kind of protects everything in here, and you still have a shower curtain that will close everything off, so you kind of have like a double protection. And then of course that bamboo screen down there for your feet. So it's kind of nice and slip resistant. Alrighty, turn that light off. And then directly across from our bathroom is our kitchen. So we have our little pantry space with adjustable shelves and the nice carpeted one on the bottom. We have our circular sink, fairly big, and it does have the adjustable, swivel here, so you can easily clean out the sink when you're done washing the dishes. This just duals as some extra counter space. And then our kitchen window that I do have open, nice and accessible to see while you are cooking or washing dishes. Our cabinet space underneath the sink with our filter. And then we have our charging right here, as well as our water pump. This just duals as some extra counter space that you can put into here. I can't really see the holes from this angle, but just so you guys can kind of see how that doubles the counter space for you. And then this is just for your microwave, which is also convectional oven. And our last one right here is our true induction. So if you guys are familiar with the Revel, this is the same exact one. It's kind of nice just because it is very multi-use. You can take it outside or you can keep it inside. So if you are cooking anything where the smell kind of just sticks in here, no matter if you have all the windows open or not, it's kind of nice to have that as an option for you as well. Alrighty, now that we're done with the kitchen area, we'll go ahead and slide on over here to our booth dinette area. So this is one of the bigger tables that you can kind of swivel around, but I'm just going to go ahead and briefly show some more storage all overhead. So we have our cabinet area here, a bunch of charging, as well as our overhead light by the TV. And then you have the two cubby holes that are also available for some more storage. Again, identical to the other side, we have more charging and then some more storage up here. This is just our handy dandy Winnebago handbook, as well as this insulation barrier that you can completely close off the front cockpit here. So as you can see, these random buttons that are everywhere, that's what you will use to kind of snap this up. And it's super thick and insulated, so if it's snowing or if it's just super hot, it will really help keep that temperature to your liking inside of the coach as well. And then we have our other window right up here, as well as the pop top, where you can sleep two more. It's more of like a tent. It's not fully insulated inside of there, but it's nice to have a secondary option in case if any kiddos want to join. So another area is why I was saying you could sleep 4 to 5, just depending on the size, is because this is a very multi-use lounge area. So right now it's kind of in the couch setup. You can slide this cushion over here, because this is also a table as well. So if you're going down the road and you don't want this big table kind of obstructing your walkway, you can go ahead and just unlatch this and make this come up here. So you have a nice little table and a nice little seat belt here, so you comfortably can seat up to 2 additional people. This one is going to be the 3-point way seat belts. Whoops, sorry, throwing. So you can kind of see the seat belt configuration here. Once you put that cushion right here, you can go ahead and strap yourself in here. And then the other one that I was showing you when it was exterior is only going to be a lap belt. But another cool thing about this table is when you have it unlatched, you can kind of bring it closer to you. You can pull it away. So if you do need to get up, it makes it a lot easier to kind of gracefully get up and walk into the kitchen without having to, you know, scoot your way out and make it really awkward. So I like the versatility of this table, as well as knowing that you can use this table to kind of latch on here and use your cushion, because you can make this into another bed too. So I'm about 5'7". When you take that cushion out and you take this cushion out, it gives me just enough room to be able to lay here. So if you had a visitor that you wanted to kind of be able to sleep inside, or it unexpectedly snowed, because you never really know Colorado weather, you don't want them to sleep in the tent anymore, you do have another option where they can kind of sleep inside as well. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for our 2025 Winnebago EKKO. This is the 23B. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'd be happy to kind of walk you through a little bit more of the nitty-gritty details. But you guys can contact me at my information below, which is 970-388-7937. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.